A scene in SmackDown, Episode 5 of Reacher Season 3, could be a simple narrative error or a concerning indication of Alan Ritchson's character's mental health. After leaving the 110th Special Investigations Unit at the end of Reacher Season 2, Ritchson has returned to lead the cast of Reacher Season 3, but his character is surrounded by a sea of new faces. As a result, Reacher's title character now faces some new difficulties as the current season undergoes yet another change. The third season of the Amazon series, which is a live-action version of Lee Child's Persuader, is mostly based on the original work. There have been a few small additions and adjustments thus far, similar to the previous two seasons, but nothing that would deviate too far from the basic plot of the program. Reacher's likelihood of being discovered as a DEA infiltrate in a criminal organization creates tension that SmackDown manages to maintain and heighten, and it's that suspenseful situation that might have simply led to a writing blunder. Reacher successfully stops Zachary Beck, Anthony Michael Hall, from ordering Susan Duffy, Sonia Cassidy, and Guillermo Villanueva, Robert Montesino, to be killed. The DEA agent loses Duffy's badge during the gunfight, but Reacher is able to retrieve it. While it's admirable that Reacher is keeping Duffy from being recognized and pursued, he is left in possession of a very delicate object that, if discovered, would result in his death at the hands of Beck's men. Strangely, Reacher's best opportunity to remove the badge is lost. Reacher places the badge in his pillowcase, which is about as good a hiding place as he can hope for under the circumstances, after returning to Beck's mansion with Harley, Brendan Fletcher. However, Reacher does not take the badge with him when he meets up with Villanueva, who could have snatched it from him, when Duffy later risks calling her inside man to inform him of their prisoner's escape. Although time was of the essence, it would have only taken a few seconds to get the badge from the pillowcase. Ritchson's character is unfamiliar with being stranded behind enemy lines without any direct assistance. It seems logical that Reacher is anxious and a little off his game because in past seasons, he has always had allies by his side rather than just on the other end of the phone. His Sherlock Holmes-like scenario analysis seems to be ramping up this season, but his gaffe about Duffy's badge demonstrates how the stress of his circumstances is affecting his judgment. As a result, the third season of Reacher reveals a new aspect of the character. It's wonderful to witness how Ritchson's acting has had to change in response to his character's unexpected and particularly life-threatening circumstances, especially considering that he has been a figure who has been unwaveringly consistent throughout the first two seasons of the program. It wouldn't have made sense if he had carried on as usual while residing at Beck's house and assisting the DEA in Reacher Season 3. Almost everything that Ritchson's character has experienced over the past two seasons is thrown at him in the Persuader adaptation on Amazon. In Reacher Season 1, for example, he is mourning the loss of his brother, and in Season 3, Mariah Robinson's Dominique Cole's death is still evidently very raw, even though it occurred years previously. Reacher Season 3 replicates the most of the previous difficulties, but this time, Ritchson's character faces even more. Reacher is obviously not functioning at its best as a result. Reacher's inability to get any sleep, and when he does, it's just for a few hours at a time, is one of his ongoing problems in Season 3. He has instead spent the majority of the time he should have been sleeping either staring intently at the ceiling or exerting himself harder in the name of the objective. This powerful combination of events, coupled with the pressure of being behind enemy lines, may easily explain why he would forget to bring Duffy's badge to meet Villanueva. In the comments section of this post, Screen Rant member Tiny made another excellent point. Reacher is a very deliberate person. Given that Duffy instructed Reacher to give my badge back to me next time I see you, it would be very reasonable for Ritchson's character to purposefully leave the badge behind when they first saw Villanueva. Because Reacher takes things very literally, he might see Duffy's request that he return her badge to her as a betrayal of her wishes by giving it to her partner. I have a good feeling that Reacher's fatigue and how it explains why he left Duffy's badge in his room have an in-universe reason. If it is a writing error, though, it is at least one that made for a fantastic scene in SmackDown. When Ritchson's character returns from his encounter with Villanueva, Reacher is seen to be obviously anxious, if not scared, during his talk with Beck. Given that he is often unflappable, it is really unsettling to watch him go through such an emotion. Beck seems to be preparing to accuse Reacher of betraying the country in practically every word of his diatribe about detecting the spy. The audience and Reacher are now well aware that the only thing that could lead to his capture is Duffy's badge, which he left concealed in his pillowcase. Beck mercifully identifies the maid as an ATF agent before Richardson's character blows his own cover by attempting to fight his way out, even though the scene strains Reacher to the breaking point. The maid's death is obviously heartbreaking, but the Reacher passage was well written. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos.